Okay, I think we're live. Hopefully we're live. Hopefully it's a reasonable connection. Let me know, guys, in the chat if it's working. I've forgotten to grab my Ethernet cable converter for my Mac, so I'm working on like wireless at the moment. I've no idea whether it's any good, whether it's even working, so do let me know. It could be like really juddery and like very pleasant to actually watch, but let me know in the comments if it's working at all. We'll find out. If not, I'll like postpone till tomorrow evening or something when I can get the converter and everything will be a lot better. Maybe. Anyway, welcome to the restart of my live streams. I haven't done any for a long time. It's nice to be back here in the shoe sanctuary, which is thinned out a little bit. Philip says it's working. Thanks, Philip. I'm glad it's working. The shoe sanctuary, I've thinned it out a little bit. I had to get rid of some stuff. There was just too many shoes that I'd kind of hung on to and wasn't really using. They weren't in the rotation at all. They're just like hanging around because it's difficult to get rid of these things sometimes, you know. So I've thinned it out a little bit. It means I've got a little bit more space to play with up here, so I can do some more wacky stuff. Not today. I'm not getting the guitars out today, but I will do on a future live stream because people keep asking me to, you know, play some guitar, and but I could just put it around my shoulders there and just hold it, you know. It'll make me feel better. So there, we're restarting the live streams. I did want to do a couple of sort of topics, I suppose, today. One's going to be best and worst shoes tried out so far this year, and what I think the sort of goat shoe might be for the year. There's a couple actually I've got in mind. Also talk about some racing. I've kind of had a bit of a race phobia almost, I suppose, since I did that marathon. There were bits of that I was kind of contemplating whether I was really enjoying myself. And whenever you do something in life, I always think you should be doing it because you enjoy it. And yeah, I'm not sure I was at a certain point, and it's kind of put me off a little bit. But I'll talk about that a bit more length later on. And then also we need to talk about some future shoe reviews we've got coming up on the channel. I'm going to do a bit of a poll soon because current stream bitrate is lower than recommended. Well, I'm sorry about that, YouTube. It is what it is because we're operating on air right now, down 2 flights of stairs. Yeah, I'm at the top of the castle here, and you know, it might be that Mrs. Eddbud's put on like a Pride and Prejudice, you know, for the 50 bazillionth time or something, or maybe some sort of murder mystery thing. I might have to get the broom out and do a sort of reverse, you know, where I'm hitting the broom on the floor. Or I might send down the spirit of Beast to tell her to turn it off. Yeah, poor old Beast. She was here, I think, on the last live stream I did. It's kind of sad. She's not here now. Yeah, well, we don't want to start off the live stream all morose and, you know, get all upset and that. Anyway, well, I want to do some hellos. Jaguar was in the house earlier. I'm not sure if Jaguar is here now, but Jaguar's particularly keen for me to review a certain shoe, which is the Fuji Speed 4. Oh my word, that is light. This will be coming out very soon. I'll get out in these possibly Friday. I want to get some of the cool drone footage. Did get a new drone just to, you know, improve the reviews a little bit, really. Get us some sort of aerial shots, get some follow-in shots and things like that. But we'll get out on the trails and review these very soon. So maybe around the weekend I might be able to get a video out for the Fuji Speed 4 from ASICS. Thanks to Jaguar for reminding me about that. Patrick is in the house. Live streams are back. Oh yes, they are. Cheekster 777, got to be one of the longest running supporters of the channel. I want to say thanks to you, Cheekster 777. If you're tuned in, hopefully you are. Thank you for always supporting the channel, like for years and years now, like 4 or 5 years or something. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Kevin Scott's here. He says it feels like 2020 all over again. Yeah, there's certain bits of 2020 that were ace, you know, like the quiet and the calm, but there's also other bits that weren't quite as good. Live streams, though, they were a good thing. So yeah, we're back. John Paul Nellis is in the house. Hello to you. Thanks for tuning in. We've mentioned Philip and Kevin. He says the shoe master himself. He's back. He's been doing some speed work today actually, 4 by half mile reps, half marathon pace, trying to get that sort of feeling back again, going at half marathon pace. I really struggle, guys, gotta be honest, in the summer when it warms up, just doing anything really. I'm just not cut out for it. As soon as it starts getting cooler out there, I just feel so much better. I just want to get that speed work in and get back to sort of fitness again where I was before. Chris Grayson's in the house. Hello to you. Dark Horse as well. He says, Mr. Midsole. Midsole now. There we go. Cool. It sounded a bit gruff, actually. Let me have a bit more of this this gravy. It's not Guinness today, by the way. It's just Diet Coke, I think. Something like that. Actually, it's not Diet Coke. It's flat Diet Coke. It's really flat. But that's all there was. So there we go. James Ben James, he says, no issue, will listen. Excellent. Roshan is in the house. We've got Simon Lloyd, I think it is. Simon Lloyd. Fred Ross says, have you ever run in the Jordans? What's the ideal distance for a Jordan? Well, I don't know. You think about it. Back in the 80s, early 90s, whatever, you know, Michael Jordan was knocking out some incredible numbers, you know, on the court, wearing, you know, the Jordans of the time. The first ones I was really aware of was the Jordan 3 and the Jordan 4. I'm in fact wearing my Jordan 4s right now. In fact, the Fire Reds. These are a thing of beauty. I've got these back, I think it was back in 2020 actually. And yeah, these have been worn a lot. You know, I wear these things. I don't just, you know, stick them in the box. I mean, that one's in the box, but that's really worn as well. Yeah, I've worn that all over town. And I find them quite comfortable, got to be honest. I think it's where I'm sort of, the joints are getting a bit older, you know. I like something that's a bit more, you know, responsive, I suppose. Got to try and put this shoe back on now. Oh, heaven knows what people think. They come in, you know, and what are you watching? A man putting on a shoe. You know, 2025 for you. I'm not sure I'd want to run particularly far in any Jordans. Maybe Jordan 1 lows. You could probably do a 5k. I'm not sure it'd be a pretty sight though. Kevin says it's good. Glad it's coming through well. Hugh's in the house. We've got Steve as well. Paul Morris. Have you any advice for GNR 25? Great North Run. Any advice? I don't know. The end stretch looks ace. It's just like completely straight, flat. I always want to do that race. That's been one of those races you see when I was younger. I think it was Mo Farah, and I say younger, I wasn't that much younger, but it was Mo Farah up against Bekele, I think it was. And probably one of the greatest finishes to a race ever. You know, Mo Farah's given it absolutely everything to try and catch him. It's just, he's right there. You know, what a finish. I've never done that one. No one ever invites me to these races. You know, I don't know how some of the shoe tubers do it. You know, they to go to all of them. You know, every single marathon there is going. They do like about 7 marathons in a year. I don't get invited, so you know, tell them you want Eddbud there. Tell whoever, if you know someone that's doing a race, Eddbud wants to come and run, because I'd love to do some of those, but I never get invited. Never mind. Who else we got in the house? Simon Lloyd. I did the Monument Marathon on Saturday in Bury. Great trail race. Cool. I wouldn't mind doing some more trail racing, really. I could kind of enjoying being back out there in the wilderness a little bit. It's quite calming, you know. It's good. Kevin's watching in California. Oh, I bet the weather's better in California than it is here. Today we've had extreme wind, there's been rain, and then blistering sunshine, all sort of in the space of about 10 minutes. So it's a bit odd. Oh, James says he didn't know about Beast. Yeah, Beast had a good life, you know. She had a good life, and no one ever replaced Beast. A total legend. If you're in the chat, give a like for Beast, okay? And share this live stream as well, so you can get a few more people. We're almost at 100, at 99 now, concurrent viewers. So yeah, hit that like button. It will help to elevate us towards Beast up in the sky somewhere. Yeah. No idea. I think there's someone else in this Diet Coke. That's good stuff, that. Hugh says, live and ready to proudly show off your shoes. There's a lot of shoes. Well, I've been testing a lot of stuff recently. This year is going to be probably a record or something, I think. Pranjal, I think I've pronounced that right. Sorry if I haven't. He says, first time I found you during your Nike Invincible Run 3 days. Will you be covering the upcoming Nike Vomero Premium? Or the Premium. I did see one of the Instagram guys was wearing the Premiums to run the Sydney Marathon. I mean, when I was a kid, I got into sneakers and running shoes and all that through seeing Nike stuff. You know, I was always a bit obsessed with the Air. And I'd like to see what it's like. You know, full Zoom X midsole and the huge Air units there. It looks like a very heavy shoe though. Whether it'll be, you know, better than the Plus, I don't know. Gotta be honest, I quite like this shoe. It's not the most versatile there is out there, but I've been enjoying my miles in. I've got a lot of value out of this already. We've been walking like 2-3 hours around town last few weeks wearing these in the evenings and stuff. It's, you know, and it's a safety shoe as well because people can see that you're out there. It's so bright. It's a bit wacky. Derek Pugh says he's got Manchester to Liverpool Ultra, mainly road with a bit of mud. Any recommendations? Mainly road, you see. But then again, the mud bits, you don't want to just be sliding around and stuff. So you want something with some reasonable lugs. So let me have a think about that one. In fact, I'll send it out to the comments as well, the viewers. What do you reckon for Derek? So for the Ultra there, Manchester to Liverpool. That'll be epic. I wish you the best of luck with that. Robin says good evening. He's happy to have the live streams back. Thanks for tuning in, Robin. Hope you enjoy the live stream today. Brian says I'm interrupting his work day. Excellent. Carl's in Atlanta. Thanks for tuning in, Carl. There's a mention about the drone there. I need to get back on these comments here. I'm getting overloaded already. When you use the drone, please show which is and how to use it. Okay, well, it's the DJI Neo, so it's only the little one. In fact, we call it Wilson. That's the name for the drone. We named it Wilson. Big Al and I were out the other day and trying to test it. And every time we tried to test it, even though we're in an area where, you know, it's pretty quiet, you'd get cars, there was a horse, you know, it was crazy. Every time we wanted to use it, something happened and we couldn't. But yeah, it's a great one. It's relatively cheap. I think you get about 20 minutes of actual flight time out of it, so it's very much a thing to just grab a little bit of extra footage here and there just to embellish the videos, really add a bit of the older sprinkles on the top of the cake, you know. Hugh Johnson says, how long 5 years? Your blog has more legs than Coronation Street. Yeah, still going. Andy Button says, on the same Ed, summer is a killer. Yeah, it's really tough, isn't it, Andy? I always just find everything's harder. Everything. I just can't get used to it. And by the time you do, we're back to this type of weather again, so it doesn't stay for long. Maxwell's in the house. We've got Steve Forster as well. Cara Varak says, odds of Adidas to stop wrecking the Primex Strung. Yeah, that's what we want. I want the original one back. I mean, the new one, it's alright. It's getting back towards what we had. It's a little bit lighter, you know, but it's like 300 grams, the other one. It was fantastic. I remember doing like 20-mile long runs in that shoe, and you just feel fantastic. You know, everything was great about it. Just wish I could get another pair of those. They were immense. Hopefully they'll retro it or something. Doubt they will, but it would be great if they did. Yeah, Steve says the Great North Run, the longest straight ever at the end. Harbia Singh, it says, is that what we come here for? You to wear shoes and tell us how they are. That's what I try and do. Hope I'm doing it. Oh, the Adidas Ultra shoes, yeah. I mean, I keep looking at that and thinking, again, how much is it going to be if they released it to the public? Someone mentioned that they were selling the is it the Pro Evo 1 over here in the UK on sportshoes.com for like £300. I'm still thinking like, well, the Metaspeed Ray is still lighter and it's still cheaper than that. So yeah, it's a bit crazy really. I'm not sure how that one will pan out, whether they'll even release it to the public. They might not bother. They might just, you know, keep it as a elite sort of developmental type shoe. Mace Windex, can you recommend me an Invincible 1 replacement? Yeah, buy the Vomero Plus. It's as close as you get. In fact, I think aside of a slightly thinner upper that was on the Invincible 1, although that had the weird padding, did it? Hang on, I think I might have it here. I've got it. Now these are the ones that I butchered. I don't know if you remember this video. If you haven't seen it, you know, go and back through the videos and find it. These are the ones where I sawed off all the excess foam, but it was all this stuff here around the heel collar. I just could never quite work out why they did that. The upper was pretty decent aside of that. Well, that was a banger of a shoe. That's great. They always seem to, you know, get it right the first time, and then they just make it more wrong after that. But, I mean, look at the massive foam there. That's crazy. Crazy shoe. Yeah, these were good for like tempo work after that. A little bit unstable, but it was worth the soaring for the experiment. Just for fun, you know, just for fun. Simon Lloyd's doing the Chester Marathon. Best of luck with that one, Simon. And Vince Warner's in the house. Paul Starr's here. He's just done Littlehampton 10k. 41 minutes, fantastic. Yeah, I'd like to get back to that 41 minute sort of area again for the 10k. I'm doing the Yeovilton 5k next Wednesday, in fact, so a week today. In fact, I'll be at the finish line, sort of, you know, collapsed at this point next week. So it'll be interesting to see what I can do on that. I want to try and get sub 20 on that, and that'll be a good indicator to see where I'm at for 10k. There's a good one around Christmas time, I think, over in Weston-super-Mare on the beach. I don't mind doing that one again. I love me a beach run in extreme wind and rain. You know, that wakes you up on a Sunday morning. That's what you want. And it's Christmas as well, so you've got the whole of Christmas to recover. Maxwell says, autumn's coming and colds and viruses going around. How do you cope? Well, interestingly enough, Maxwell, I've changed jobs recently. For 20 years I was a lecturer in college, but I've actually changed to do a job from home now where I'm like a quality assessor. It's like an advisor. It's really great. So hopefully I can avoid the colds and coughs a little bit more. I can drink lots of herbal tea and yeah, just keep away from lots of that stuff. It was impossible to do that at college because you had, you know, thousands of people coming in and out every day and spreading everything around. So maybe I'll be able to avoid that this winter. That would be awesome. If you're in the live stream, if you're in the comments there and you're watching, please hit that like button. It really does help us out. We're up to 127 concurrent viewers. Fantastic. Well done, guys. I appreciate it. All of you that watch the videos, in fact, I really appreciate you tuning in, checking them out and commenting. We got a really nice community there. There's very few occasions where either I or one of the moderators have to go in and sort of remove somebody because they're just being rude, right? They're just being nasty, or just the comments are just uncalled for. So very rarely does that happen, and that's a really cool thing to have because, you know, I know some bigger YouTubers now have all sorts of problems with that. So yeah, I never really want to be in that situation. I just want a nice community of people that enjoy the videos and they get something out of it, and it's a positive thing. It just keeps the positive ball rolling. That's what we want. Connor is over in Ireland. Thanks for tuning in, Connor. Hope you're having a great evening. And Derek says I should head up to Scotland. They get a new season every 10 minutes. What was I watching the other day? I think it was a video from Steve Marsh. I don't know if you're aware of him. He's a Scottish sort of vlogger. He does great YouTube videos where he just travels somewhere and wanders around. They're wonderful videos. And Steve was going up some... they're not mountains. What were they called? There's another word. I can't remember what it is now. But he was going up these sort of very large hilly mountains, and the weather was extreme. It was pretty wild. Torin is here. I keep losing the comments here. From Atlanta. Fantastic. Thanks for tuning in. Kevin Scott, he's been using the Ultra Experience Flow 2 and the Innovate Road Fly. Awesome. Fred Ross, mild pronators. Maybe check out the Puma Forever Run Nitro 2. It's very mild stability there. You should go for that one. Kevin Scott says, Beast, gone but not forgotten. Love you, Beast. Carl Siegel. Carl Siege ran a marathon on his birthday before work. Oh, he did half before work, half after. Wow. That's some steel right there. Dominic Lee says, which brands produce the best bargains for the year? The best bargain shoe. Gotta be Velocity Nitro 4 from Puma for 110 Earth credits. There's a lot of shoe there. I think it's great value. It's a brilliant shoe, like really nice for doing some speed work as well. It's a lovely soft cushion. It's a different type of Nitro there. It's a little softer. It's a little bit more spring back to it. It's a great shoe. How they're able to do it for 110, I don't know. But that is one of the best. Peter, Mrs. Beast, even in the Netherlands. Oh, Beast. My daughter found some photos there actually. I need to get copies of those. When she was very, very small. I remember one of the first things Beast ever did was climb in on top of my studio monitors and like knocked one of them over, and I had to get the tweeter replaced. It's a very expensive animal. So Anthony says, with all the shoes you test, what does your normal week look like? I always go by like a training plan for whatever I'm doing next. So I'm running the Bournemouth half middle of October, so I'm building up for that at the moment. So I kind of have to fit the shoes in where they might fit. I mean, if it's a sort of daily shoe, that's great because that'll work for lots of things. But if it's some sort of tempo race shoe or recovery shoe, I'll use it for those sessions. And sometimes that's why I'm a bit behind some of the other, people that get sent out stuff all the time, because I've got to use the shoe for its intended purpose. Otherwise, it's a bit meaningless, So, Al Kabali says, what do I think of the Chinese shoe companies? I would love to test some of them out, but the problem is loads of those models, they only go up to certain sizes. I'm an 11 UK, which is US 12 in most brands, and yeah, it's sometimes really hard to get hold of shoes in that. Jacob Reese is in the house. Good to see you here. Do a very long trail race. What's your longest run? 100k in his backyard. Well, I don't know, training run about 21 miles, and of course done the marathon, but I'm not sure I'm kitted out to do an ultra thing like that. It would destroy me, I think, for weeks. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on, during the week where I have to share that load a little bit with my wife. So yeah, I'm not too sure if she'd be particularly happy if I started doing those. That would be a step too far, along with playing video games and stuff, and guitar and football and food and tech and the running. Yeah, I think that'd be too much. That'd be too much. That's why I've not got a season ticket this year for Yeovil Town Football Club, because that'll push it over the edge. Sorry if there's some strange noises going on. I've opened the windows to get a bit of airflow through in the studio. Celo X1 2.0, not great in the damp. Yeah, I think there's a lot of shoes, that I've tested out over the summer where it's been bone dry here, and now we've got some wet weather and we're starting to test those out, and they don't always hit the spot. So I'm recommending the Tecton X2 as a good road to trail shoe. There's somebody tuning in there from Brazil. Fantastic flow state of English. John says, was you a former sneakerhead? I see you wearing some fresh gear. Oh yeah, still am, very much so. I don't tend to put too much stuff up on the channel about it, but I'm mega into my sneakers, and my daughter is really into it as well. I think her prize possessions are probably her patent leather bred Jordan 1s, and mine are probably my Jordan 5s, the fire reds, my favourites, right from when I first saw them when I was, I don't know, 10 years old or something. They've always been my favourite sneaker. But I love loads. I love the 11s. I really like Jordan 4s as well. I've been wearing those all day today. Just super comfy, these. Now, you just sort of break in a bit after a while, and you can really feel the air under the heels. Quite nice. Matthew West. I'll tell you what, Matthew, that's a cracking idea. Matthew said, any thoughts on doing a video of your top 5 all-time shoes? That is a banging idea. In fact, I'm going to do that on Friday for you, Matthew. Okay, so tune in on Friday. All-time top 5. Maybe I can do it like a sort of top of the pops style thing. That would be good. Lidmark says, hello. Everyone talking so good about the Evo SL, but you don't like them. Feels like running on a carton. Now, I found with the Evo SL, they got better and better and better the more you use them. I've actually done an experiment today on the Evo SL. I've got the white pair, and they looked really shabby because they're just covered in mud and muck. The mesh just seems to hold on to the grit. So I chucked them in the washing machine, and I'm going to see if they've affected them at all. But yeah, I think that foam, you've got to tenderize it a little bit, you know, to get the best out of it. Upper Lanes, would you recommend running a half marathon with a Mega Blast? Don't see why not. It's a great shoe. I think that could be the best shoe we're going to get this year. It's got everything that you could want. Decent weight. I mean, for me, it's about 260 grams, which is not all that far off like an Alphafly 3 or something. You've got a lot of grip there. Upper's decent, upper's good, and the actual midsole seems to be getting better. It's going a little bit more bouncy, a little bit more forgiving. It's a great shoe. I don't see why it wouldn't work. You got the Endorphin Pro 4 though. That's a great shoe with good grip as well. So I'm not sure it's like a better shoe. I'd still see the Mega Blast more as a training option. Some people might be able to use it for a marathon or half marathon. I mean, it's kind of overkill for 5 or 10k. You just don't need all that stack for that. But I think for that, the cars outside agree with me. Beeping the horns. The big half. I'm not doing the big half this year, but Big Al is doing the big half. My buddy Big Al. So I'm wishing him all the best on that one in his build up to Chicago Marathon, because he's heading over there. I tell you what, that man is quick. He is exceptionally fast, and he's getting stronger and faster as well as the training goes on. I might try and get Big Al on at some point as well, actually do a little sort of Q&A thing on how he's been training, because it seems to really be going through the roof in terms of his abilities there. Mr. Asthenia has got a pair of the original Primex in a UK 11 with my name. Yes, that would be good. Fire me an email in the the description of the videos. Use that one, and we'll talk business. We'll talk, because it's a good shoe. Pints. That would be good. Simon Lloyd is happy with the Southport 10k. Doing 46.22. Fantastic. In the Nitro Elite 2. Yeah, the Fast Star. That's a banging shoe. It's an aggressive shoe. I really enjoyed that one. It's like a football boot and a ski put together. It was a great shoe. Well done with your time. Brilliant stuff. Mace Windex, how many kilometres do you do on your shoes before retiring? Kind of depends really what the shoe is, and I mean, I could go on running and stuff for ages, for years, but people want to see new stuff, so it's always, a balance between, do I continue with that something, do I take it a bit further? Maxwell says, how big is your production team? Well, it's me. It's just, I do it all. I do the video editing, the recording, everything, the whole shebang. Occasionally people do a little bit of, post-production stuff here and there, but very, very rarely. Like I've done over 1,000 videos. It's all me. So people ask me if they can like edit my videos, but that's kind of the things I like doing. I like editing them and making them. I genuinely like producing them, and I like it. It's a part of me, rather than like, you know, a thing that people add to. Not sure it'd be the same. It wouldn't be as enjoyable, I don't think. Steve says, am I trying Manchester again in 2026? Yeah, it's the heat. I think it's the time, you know, Steve. It's just around those times. Looking at that, you know, you trained for months beforehand, and then when you get there, it's like, it's warm. It's really warm. And if it's like that again, you know, I felt dreadful after that. After I finished, I almost passed out. And I felt really dodgy for like a few hours. And it wasn't to do with the distance or anything like that. It was the heat. And I could see so many people dropping back and loads of people on the floor. And I thought, I don't want to be there, you know. So that's why I just pulled it back a bit, because I didn't want to collapse. So it's a bit sad. I won't be going back again next year. I'm doing Brighton. Going to do Brighton next year. Hopefully it'll be nice and cold. What else we got here? Let's try and keep up with some of these comments here. Protein gravy. Now this is Diet Coke. Richard Kane says he got a PB in last month's Yeovilton 5K. Yeah, it's a nice fast course. Not too many really tight bends on that one either. It's pancake flat, really. Hardly any elevation whatsoever. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. So I'm saying there were 66 on ASOS the other day. Is that the Velocity Nitro? That would be crazy. Paul Starr is saying about the SL2. Yeah, that's a great shoe for the money as well. I think if you want something that's a little bit more responsive, a little lower stacked, maybe the SL2 is a great option. There's loads of bargains on those at the moment. Munros, that's the word I was looking for just now about the Scottish Hills. Munros. Yeah, the Saucony Speed 2 Run Shield. Someone's mentioned there. Matt has mentioned about those. I know that Tim Gross is really keen on those. He had a couple of pairs. He swore by those. Really interesting that a lot of the brands have kind of dumped those shield or, you know, sort of waterproof running shoes. And yeah, in this country, you know, coming quite useful sometimes, really. I haven't tried the Celo X 2.0 as of yet, Matt. Maybe if I can get a deal on some at some point. Menji says he's currently dealing with injury to his hip, and the videos keep me in the runner's bubble. That does make sense. I'm glad that the videos are helping you get through that recovery. I hope you can get back to it in the near future. The Nike Socks Racer. No, I don't remember those, Paul. I'll have to go and check those out. There's some interesting stuff from the 80s, it has to be said. We've had nuts time recently. My son's really got into Transformers, and I managed to get all mine down from the loft, so there's loads of cool stuff in there from, you know, it's like 40 years old. Like Ultra Magnus and Hot Rod, and I got full Metroplex in the box. It was nuts. People kept telling me I should sell them, but nah, it's stuff to be played with, you know. And the joy that it gives my son, you know, playing with these toys. There's some awesome stuff. And strangely, I can remember how to transform all of them as well, even though I haven't like even seen them for maybe like 35 years, probably more than that. It's really strange. We're catching up with the comments. Andy Button running. He did a 17k today in the New Balance More V5. Great in the dry for easy miles. They're like sponges in the wet roads. Yeah, there's a lot of those max cushion shoes with all that padding. They just soak up all the water and they just get heavier and heavier. It's really odd. I think it was the trying to remember which shoe it was now. There was a New Balance shoe I had, and it was terrible for that. It just felt like I had bricks, like sponge bricks on my feet at the end of a very wet run. Eduardo, he says, hello. Adidas sale question, should he get the Sen 10 or the Evo SL? Sen 10's a good racer. Evo SL's a good sort of trainer, you know, so it depends what you want really. For the same price, I don't know, I love the Takumi Sen. It's always been a favourite of mine, especially the last few iterations have been great. So personally, I'd probably get that, because then you can use it for some racing, you can use it for some tempo training and that kind of stuff. Peter doesn't like the SL2 at all. He says it's like a clown's shoe. Too clunky. I found you needed to go up like a half in that shoe to get it to fit just right. There's not quite enough length to it, and it's quite a tapered shoe as well at the toe box end. Army of One, yeah, that's me, man. Oh, the Army of One. Paul Chapman says, if you could have wings, would you have feathery ones or leathery ones? I don't know, flying would always be pretty cool. If you could just like fly to places. It's kind of like almost transportation, isn't it, really? Leathery wings. Don't know. Definitely feathery ones, I reckon. They'd be a bit more... You could cool yourself down with them. Leathery, it would just feel like you're in a nightclub or something. I'm not sure what I mean by that, but... Steve Gilbert, Mega Blast chat is never done. We can always talk Mega Blast. Especially the Bon the Bass Mega Blast, that's a great tune. Or the game as well. Xenon 2 Mega Blast, that was a great game. Durability. I reckon you get loads and loads of miles out of the Mega Blast. Where's my pair? Walking around here somewhere. Ow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I need to give these a bit of a clean there. I know it sounds mad, but my son wanted to go out yesterday with me in the buggy, so I already had these on, and they got absolutely coated in muck. But they were great. The grip was immense. You know, he had his coat on and he was screaming to go faster, and yeah, it worked out all right. I think it's a versatile shoe. I think it will do pretty much anything pretty well. Yeah, Matthew, we'll get on that one. Maybe tomorrow. I've got some time to sort of write the script. Well, that's what I tend to do, guys. I tend to get the idea, normally when I'm out running, and then I'll write a script, and then get it down. I like doing the jump cuts in there as well. I don't like the umming, the ahhing, and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate that people's time is really precious to them, you know, especially like you got kids, you got wives, you got husbands, you got all sorts of things going on in your lives, and if you just spend like 5, 6, whatever, 10 minutes watching a video of mine, I want it to be the info and just the info and no umming and ahhing and all that type of stuff. So I get it in, edit it, get it out. It's a pretty fast process, and you know, I don't see how me giving the footage to someone else would make that process any faster. I don't think it would improve the speed, and it wouldn't be directly from me either, so it would kind of be odd. John Adams said, could I please give Della Adams a shout out for the Great North Run this weekend? Best of luck, Della Adams, for your Great North Run this weekend. I hope it's not too hot. I hope it's a reasonable temperature out there and you have a great time. Enjoy it. I have a feeling that I'm going to sneeze at any moment, but I'm prepared, you know, because it's what people come to YouTube for, this sort of high-end entertainment of a man sneezing in front of a pair of running shoes. Roshan says that he got a 1915 at Parkrun recently in the Fast R3, 56 years old. That is great stuff, man. That's great in terms of age grade. Well done, sir. How many pairs of shoes do I have? Tadej? Tadej? I don't know. Too many. Too many is the answer. It depends. If you ask my wife, she will say that, you know, she'll say you can have a divorce or you've got too many shoes. Something along those lines. And it's true. I admit it. There's too many. You can never have too many shoes, right? If I could piece together a running shoe. Oh, wow. I mean, I'd need some time to think about that. That's another video idea, I think, Philip. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Late onset hay fever, I think it is. I need some time to think about that one. I think I could come up with a great, like, Frankenstein shoe of all the best bits, but they'll take time to do. Have I heard anything on the Endorphin Pro 5? Not as yet, no. Saucony tend to keep those under wraps for a fair amount of time. What's my favourite transformer? Probably Soundwave, I think. Always been my favourite. Never managed to get Soundwave. I'd love to buy a Soundwave and have him in the live streams and the video. I can put him back here somewhere, couldn't I? Yeah, Soundwave and Ravage, they're always my favourites. That'd be a good name for a cat, wouldn't it? If I got a new cat, I could call it Ravage. Imagine beating the cat food tin outside. Ravage! Ravage! Yeah. Stevie76 says, how's my daughter doing? I remember during COVID you'd visit her and like, yeah, she's doing good. She's doing good. She's only got a couple of years left at school now. And she's very much into the Ramones. And she wants to learn to play the drums, which is, you know, it's music to my ears. That'll be good. Because that means I've got a drummer for the rest of my life. It's great. You know, I can call her in and pay her, you know, proper musicians union rates to do some drumming for me. Pastor Running says it would be interesting to hear about the Endorphin Pro 5. Yeah, it's got to be around soon. I can't imagine it'll be too long. That's been 18 months since the 4 dropped, I think. So yeah, it's got to be soon. Wonder what Super Blast 3 foam's going to be. Yeah, it's an interesting point really as to what they're going to couple it with, or whether it would just be a full amount of, I don't know, Flight Foam Turbo Squared or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, it could be some FF Leap. I'm not sure that'll be too soft though. Dylan mentioning about the glycerin 22s. Yeah, that's some of these shoes just soak up water very quickly. Path to Running says about top 3 Neil Young albums. One of my favourites, I think probably number 1, is always going to be Live Rust. That is just a great album. So many good tracks on there, really good performances. I'd say probably number 2, American Stars and Bars, and then maybe 3rd place. God, it's tough, you know. Ragged Glory, maybe. I really like Ragged Glory. Country Home, that's a great song. A really great song. Craft a Box, did you teach me in college, or am I imagining it? Cardiff Half soon. I may have done. I taught for a very long time across music and IT and computing, so it's possible that I did. Enjoy the Cardiff Half. Am I in a band? I do play with my father's rock and roll band at the moment. I'm still going, still playing. Which shoe is your kin? The shoe that fits you the best? On stage, the Adios 9 actually is my pick. That's a great shoe for stage use. Good grip, not too stacked, it's just right for stage use. And of course, you know, some legends wore Adidas shoes on stage, people like Mercury, Bon Scott, you know, some legends. Do I have the Metaspeed Ray? No, I do not have that shoe at this moment in time. That doesn't mean to say I won't have that shoe. I may have it coming soon. On the playlist today, I didn't actually listen to music today. It's the first time in about, I don't know how long, like a year or something. I haven't listened to any music today while I was out running, and I kind of enjoyed it because I had to focus on what I was doing rather than sort of running to the music, which I tend to do. I found I do that in races as well. I run to the music, which is sometimes useful, sometimes not so useful. Is the Mega Blast true to size? Yes, I go true to size on that shoe. Unless you have a very narrow foot, then I go down a half size. But I think it'll probably be okay true to size. Just try and get through the last few questions, a few more comments and stuff here. So Magnifying Nitro 387 on start. Oh wow, that's a great price for that. It's a really quite new shoe as well. Hasn't been out long. Someone had Soundwave there, learning fast from the early 80s on his desk. Ravage, classic stuff. Any word on the Alphafly 4s? Nothing solid as of yet, no pun intended. And Superblast 3 is looking like being Flight Phone Leap. And the pros of a training shoes, their Med Speed races. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Stevie76 asks about outside the UK and unfamiliar with UK politics. Are Brits being arrested for simply flying the St George's flag? No, not that I've seen. It's all a bit strange, really. I think it's one of these things that some account on Facebook somewhere has been telling people to do something, and some people are that foolish to go out and do it. I'm very much a proud European. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say on that. It's a strange time. Strange times. They should put flags that have a beast's face on it. That's what they should do. Mildred's still about. Someone did ask about that in the comments. Yeah, Mildred's still going. Still going strong. Mildred's kind of like a Kenyan runner. It's just lean and mean. There's not an ounce of fat on her. She's like out every day, running about, ratting, you know, looking for like rats, mice and what have you. And then going around to every single house in the local area looking for some food. That's what Mildred's doing. She's a beautiful cat. Very good-natured animal. Beast wasn't, I've got to be honest. Beast was quite nasty at times. The Beast live stream this will be. No Nas forever. Jaguar says, what is my opinion about the Fuji Speed 4? How many marks will I give it out of 10? I don't know. It's a little bit lighter than the 6 I tried out the other day. Sort of like a trainer version of this, really. You got the Piva plate. It's a bit more rigid. It's a little bit narrower. The lugs aren't quite as deep. It's going to be like a sort of race or tempo version of that. Yeah, there's a lot more rigidity here to this shoe. So it could work quite well for me, actually, because that's how I prefer my trail shoes to be a little bit more rigid. And I don't like the stack. I like them to be a little bit lower. So it could be absolutely fantastic. We shall see, though. We shall see. It needs the litmus test. Nick White says, is the Sonic Blast a good interval shoe? It's a weird one, that Sonic Blast. I can't get my head around it. It's very firm. But it's so stacked, I can't see it working that well on the track. I think there's better stuff out there on the track. I've got to be honest, I think even like the Velocity Nitro 4 I'd pick over that on the track. When is Eddbud coming to America like Eddie Murphy? Oh, it'd be great, you know, if someone asked me to go, I'll be well up for that, but it's very seldom I get asked to come over and do these. CM says, thanks for the great reviews. No problem, glad you enjoy them. Brooks, I'll tell you what, like I've received loads of emails about Brooks stuff recently. It's like a different sort of approach that they've got. It's all about sort of like club runners and, you know, getting the shoes into kind of, over here in the UK at least, the sort of dedicated running stores. It's interesting. I think we're just about the end of the questions there. That's pretty good. Yeah, best and worst so far. So this year, really, Velocity Nitro 4, really enjoying that shoe. I'm really enjoying if I can grab it here. 711 from Adidas. This one's been great so far. Really enjoying the grip and the sort of more rigid nature to this one. It's so light as well. There's hardly anything to it. Super light. And they're proven to be quite durable as well. Now, I don't think that the Light Strike Pro formula that's in here is the same as the one that's in the Pro 4. I don't believe it. That looks like it's going to be a shoe avalanche in a minute, and there's going to be a load of stuff drop. So really enjoying those so far, and the Hyperion Elite 5. I'm still on the fence as to whether I prefer the Edge or the Sky in the new Metaspeed lineup. I feel like the Sky has given me a little bit more. Sorry, the Edge has given me a little bit more than the Sky. It's very subtle in terms of the difference, and it's really about foot strike. Really is down to foot strike. So I can't quite decide whether I like one or the other there. We've managed to hit over 100 likes. I like it. If anyone here who's watching hasn't hit that like button yet, please do so. It really does help to get us out to a few more people out there. Get to my dream of 100,000 subscribers. That would be really cool. Yeah, I can quit then. I'm not going to do that. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to quit. I think I'd only quit if like I just literally couldn't run anymore, and that would be a sad day, wouldn't it? That would be a really sad day. It does happen to people though, you know, so you've got to be prepared for these things. What would I do then? I don't know. I think I'd have to flip things a little bit, maybe move into like tech or something. I've been really enjoying playing this actually, Cyberpunk. I kind of played it a little bit when it first came out, didn't really get into it, got it on the PS5, and again, something stopped me from getting into it, but I've been playing it on the Switch, and it's just great fun. I really like the pick up and play nature of it. It's really enjoyable. I can just go into the world of Night City and enjoy myself for a bit. Maybe go and get some food. Maybe go and have some flat Diet Coke as well. It's just so good, flat, you know. It really, it's the drink of champions. What's my next big event? Well, 5k, you know, next week. But next big one, I guess, is Bournemouth Half. I really want to get back to that one, have another bash at it. There's a hill there that destroyed me last time, so I need to get back there. And I guess next year I'm aiming for Brighton for the marathon. So Brighton is great. I love it. I loved it there when I was there before. Such fantastic people I met there. It was a really wonderful vibe. Everybody was like really supportive. Lots of people out there. And I kind of liked the bit where you're just out on the dual carriageway and there's the wind and the seagulls. That was cool. And then you get back into the town and there's loads of people. So I want to get back there. I had such a wonderful time when I last went. And it'd be cool if I can, you know, take my wife and my son this time, because he'll no doubt enjoy it, because he can get down to the beach and, you know, hang out. So that'll be good. And my daughter can probably come down as well, so we'll make it a big party. So those are sort of the main events really that I'm looking for. Roshan says he prefers the Ray. Yeah, I need to test that. I'll be doing that very soon, Roshan. So do not worry. That one will be coming in soon for review. I think we've just about covered all the questions there, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up. Now, I won't be back next Wednesday, but there will be another live stream popping up soon. It could even be the Thursday of next week, so I'll let you guys know as soon as I can and place that up so you guys can get ready. You can get your drinks and your snacks. I really fancy some peanuts, actually. I'm going to have to go to the shop in a minute. I need some peanuts, I need some Diet Coke, and I need some bananas. That's what I need. The food of champions. That's what, you know, Kipchoge is chomping away on before a race. I bet you any money. David H says he enjoys the reviews. Keep it up. I will try and stay injury free. Excellent stuff. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there, people. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. It's good to be back. doing some live streams again, getting out and chatting to the people, answering the questions. Fried rice, you see, Jennifer, that is what I'm talking about. Fried rice, egg fried rice would go down very well right now. You can tell I've done like a speed session earlier, and my body is just going, I want food, I need food. I've not had enough food, I'm really hungry. Right, what we got coming up? We've got the Fuji Speed 4s, maybe the Metaspeed Ray soonish, maybe. We'll have to keep an eye out for that one. I've also got another shoe in from Scott running, which is like a gravel based shoe. Like it's like a gravel specific shoe. You can probably run on anything, but it's made if you're running on like lots of gravel, so that could be ace. One more question. You point me in the direction of a pair of running shoes very similar to the Saucony Speed 2. Well, I get the Speed 5. They're as close to the 1 and 2 as you're going to get for like a long time. They've kind of gone back to what made that shoe good. Is there anything else that's quite like it? Not that I can think of right now. If it's got to be a plated model, yeah, Zoomfly 6 is a banger. That's the best Nike shoe right now, aside of the Alphafly 3. If it's got to be a sort of slightly more nimble training shoe with a plate, then yeah, the Speed 5 is great. It's a great shoe. Right guys, I'm going to draw it to a close there. Thanks for tuning in, I really appreciate it. Do hit that like button if you've not done so already. Drop me a super thanks as well to help the channel out on a more ad hoc basis. Every little helps to keep the shoes rolling in. My name's Eddbud, and I'll be seeing you.